Big O Show. This is the 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 Big O Show. This is...
Where can you drive the new 2025 Acura Integra for only $289 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
Where can you drive the new 2025 Acura RDX for only $399 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
It's big. It's gigantic. It's the Toyota of Hollywood Super Sale. Over 2,000 Toyotas from just $17,988. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. Join the fun and get a super deal at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Where can you drive a new Acura ZDX for only $439 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
South Florida, listen carefully. Osmani Garcia with Omega Realty Group is changing the game. He's not just listing homes. He's guaranteeing to sell yours in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it himself. No excuses, no delays, no fine print games. This is real. If you're serious about selling, call 305-440-1990 and see if your home qualifies. Osmani Garcia delivers results. Osmani Garcia, the home of the 30-day sale guaranteed, where guarantees are backed by action. Call now, don't wait. This market won't wait for you. Restrictions apply. Call 305-440-1990.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt & Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt & Rayom can help.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Righty, good afternoon, boys and girls. And of course, we are live like we told you here at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, 16100 Pines Boulevard. Come on out here. We'll be out here for a couple of hours. You got the QR code there. We got the great Sean Stanley by my side, all of that. And of course, this show, it's sponsored by Subaru of Pembroke Pines. So come out and check out the latest Crosstrek, featuring their all-wheel drive, advanced safety tech, and adventure-ready capability. And, of course, if you mention our show, The Big O Loves Subaru, you will get $500 off your next Subaru vehicle. So mention our name, you will get $500 off, and you will get, like, the most reliable vehicle in the market. You know, that's kind of, that's how Subaru always grades. You know what I'm saying? Durability, reliability, affordability. There's a lot of Italies in there. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you're going to get out here at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? Let's see. Yeah, they got you more than anything else going on. I don't know, dude. I don't know what to tell you. You're the. There you go. All right. Anyway, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Okay. All right. Technical difficulties here to start the show. Sean will try to figure it all out. That's live right now. Yes. Yes. It's live. But anyway, we are out here, and we'll be out here for a couple of hours having some fun. Usually we'll be out here the last Wednesday of the month, and today happens to be the last day of the month. And usually these are some of the best days to kind of get deals because they're trying to close out the month, and they want to I believe they're the #1. I'm not out of a place. I think they're the #1 volume Subaru dealership here in the Southeast. So they move a lot of Subarus. And if you're looking for a great, I might be a Subaru person at the beginning of next year, because the Solterra is one that I am dying to get a hold of. So hopefully we can make a move in 2026 for one. Anyway, so we got a lot of things to talk about on the show. The Heat, their season is over. They're having their closeout meetings and all that good stuff today. What else? We'll see what else they've got. We'll see what comes out of it. I'm not expecting much to come out of it, to be quite honest. I don't think that this isn't a team that has players that have any kind of fire. Okay. And the ones that have the fire have no power whatsoever. So that's the problem there. Guys like Davion Mitchell. Yeah, he plays with a lot of, but he's so down on the totem pole that he can't demand anything, right? You don't have any of that. And then Bam and Tyler are failures to a certain extent in their own right as leaders of the team, and down the stretch here, they can't complain because they had the stage for themselves. And what are you going to do? They didn't get it done. They shrunk in the biggest moments. And so it just doesn't work. So you're not going to have anybody go crazy and say anything. I don't know if you're watching any of the quotes or anything. I'll ask Sean to follow some of the quotes from the writers coming out of there, but I don't expect anything. The only person that could say something is Spo. Spo's the only one. But as I've told you, the worst part about what's going on with the Miami Heat is that they are in a rut. Okay. And I'm not sure if you guys are finally learning this. Writers can't really be brutally honest. Maybe a columnist can. Maybe. But the beat writers can never be really brutally honest about any beat they're on. Okay? None of them. None of them, like Dolphin writers. Are any of them going to write, the way this season's going in 2024 will be the year that probably Mike McDaniel puts himself on the hot seat? I'm the only one that says that. They're not going to say that because it takes a little guts to say that, because deep down inside, if you're looking at it, you kind of see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's just, what are we going to do? Hide from the realities? No, I know some do, but writers can't tell you this. So they're not going to tell you that the Heat, okay, no beat writer on the Heat is going to tell you the Heat is screwed for a few years. They got nowhere to go. They're not sexy. I just saw an article from The Athletic about Giannis Antetokounmpo, John Hollinger, right? He's pretty connected, right? He's very well respected. He's got rockets because of Thompson and Green and picks. The Nets have the 6th, 19th, 26th, 27th picks in the draft. They have an unprotected pick from the Suns in 28. They have 3 unprotected picks from the Knicks. Spurs and Raptors, they have players and picks. Memphis has a disgruntled star that you could probably make a move for there. No mention of the Heat. You know why? I don't know if beat writers will be honest with you, but nobody wants Miami's players, not even Bam anymore. Do you know why? Look at the amount of money you have to pay Bam to be your 3 or 4 on your team. In a league with aprons, I don't know if that's really what you want to do. Because Bam has shown over and over again, when it comes to offense, he goes small. He does not play with guts. I'm sorry, but that's the reality of who Bam Adebayo is. And we can't do anything about that. This is who the man is. He goes small in big moments because he's not really an offensive player, can't do that. So the Heat don't have anybody that they can trade for, anybody they'll give them 4 first rounders for. That's silly shit. Nobody's doing that. Not in today's NBA. They want stars for 4 first rounders. People that can carry your offense, not a guy that is a super role player. That's what Bam is. Set the pick, grab the rebound, play a little defense. But when push comes to shove, he's not going to play the offense you need. So nobody's going to be giving you a bunch of picks for Bam. Tyler has ruined all of his value now because we thought, okay, by staying healthy, you'll get more value. But then again, look what happened in big moments, and he failed. So people aren't going to look at him as a 1 or a 2. Like I told you, he's a complimentary shooter on a championship team. That's what he's supposed to be. Like when the big 3 was here, Tyler would have to play the Ray Allen role. But you would have to count on him like Ray Allen. A little bit of a difference there. You know what I'm saying? So if you really look, and the Heat doesn't have a lot of picks, they're not going to have high picks. They have a terrific coach that will coach people out of the lottery, or you're barely in the lottery, which, it's going to take a miracle for you to win it. The Heat either have to purposely tank for a couple of years, which is not in their DNA. And Riley's not going to stick around for a couple of years of just gutting the team. But really, that's the only way out of the abyss. I don't know if people will be honest with you about this. I will. I'll tell you, the Heat has zero future in the next few years. Zero future. The most they can do is try to, conjure up a couple players here or there, some veterans, and be a little upstart team that, barely makes the playoffs or whatever. And if that's what it's all about, then yeah, you can do that. If you want to do what you've been doing for years now, yeah, you can go ahead and keep doing that. You got a great coach. He'll keep you afloat. But if you want to win like what you used to win, like the championships, like I tweet out all the time, remember the days when, and I say it here on the show, remember the days when the Heat used to have superstars? Remember when they used to have franchise players? Remember when Riley got here, the first thing he did was acquire a franchise player? No, last 10 years, that's been a problem if it wasn't for Dwayne Wade. And again, listen, all of this, I'm not saying Riley has to go or any of that kind of stuff. I'm not saying any of that, dude. Okay? But I am saying, Riley, you better figure it out, dude. You better figure it out because you've been very mediocre the last 10 years. The worst that you've been, put it that way. Let's just put it that way. The worst 10 years of Riley's career has just passed. So, because the standard is getting lower and lower and lower as you're becoming more like the Dolphins. Remember, we've made that comparison. They're starting. This is the 80s now. We went through the 70s. This is now the 80s that just is going on. Yeah, you go to a couple championships, upstart, you get your ass beat. You don't really belong there. That's what happened to them in the championships and those runs. Well, kind of like the Dolphins. And so, you got to get out of this rut because it's trending this way for the Miami Heat. And it's all up to Riley. I'm not saying get rid of him or anything like that. I'm not doing that. Not doing that, not doing that, not doing that. We've talked about that over and over again. So, but we can put pressure and expectations on him. We can point out that he's not doing a good job. We're entitled to all of that. If we're entitled to say you're phenomenal and you're winning championships and all that, well, we're also entitled to say, what are you doing, bro? Why would you trade for Rozier? And why would you bring on Dedmon? And why did you give Dion Waiters a contract and Whiteside? And you traded for Lowry? And, and we just can go on and on. Why didn't you trade Butler after the last finals? And that's not hindsight on this show. Everyone else in the media locally, if they ever say that, it's hindsight because none of them ever said it. In fact, none of them even ever said to trade him a year or two ago. So, everybody, they all jump on it late. Okay, so that's where we can, if we're going to praise the Godfather for all the things that he does, we can now criticize him for the constant screw-ups that are going on right now. The fact that you don't have picks. The fact that you keep making bad trades. The fact that you ended up with the Jimmy thing where it completely, you killed the value of Jimmy Butler. Not Jimmy, you. Because you didn't have the foresight on when to get off the gravy train. So all of these things are legitimate gripes for Pat Riley. And again, it's not about firing, not about changing, but the facts are the Miami Heat organization is not good enough right now. That's all. And the worst part about it is they have no mechanisms in order to really get better. Okay. All right. Kind of reminds me of like the Fed. They don't really have a lot of mechanisms to fix the economy. They just quantitative easing and tightening. And, it's like, our toolbox. But bro, you've got like 2 or 3 tools in the toolbox. What kind of a toolbox is that? You know what I'm saying? So they have no tools. They don't have any picks. They don't have any cap space. They have no sexy players. The Heat has nothing, dude. They have maneuvered and put themselves in a position of nothing. Because, and by the way, the worst part about it is the guys that you like, you definitely don't want to get rid of because they're young and cheap. Right? Ware, Jovic, and Pelle Larsson. You could get rid of Tyler, but what are they going to offer you? You're not really going to get much. And then you have the other thing. Is Tyler going to like go over there? Hey, I want a raise. I want a max. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. That would be funny. So, you know, there's issues in Heatland, and they are stuck in a hamster wheel, and there's no way of getting off. That's all I can tell you, folks. All right. Subaru of Pembroke Pines, folks, come on out and check out their latest Cross Trek, featuring their all-wheel drive advanced safety tech and advanced ready capability. And, of course, if you mention us, you will get $500 off your next Subaru. So come on out here, 16100 Pines Boulevard. There's the QR code. Remember, you can also make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Chainlink donation also. Many ways to support our show besides going to our terrific sponsors. Let's see. Alexis Palenzuela, I see, is number one in. Ray Sosa, Stephen Harris, Gus 1388, Dolphin Dave. I think the Lightning win tonight. No, I think the Panthers win tonight. They beat the Lightning at home twice without Ekblad. This is a super deep team. It's really experienced. It's tough. The Panthers are not the Miami Dolphins. The Panthers are not this version of the Miami Heat. Okay? We're not talking about soft and choking franchises nowadays. Okay? We're not talking about poorly coached teams like Canes football. All right? Or that they don't really rise to the challenge either under Mario so far. The Panthers don't resemble anything that you're used to in South Florida. As I told you yesterday, the Panthers are historic. They match what you saw from the Big Three, what I saw from the 70s teams, the Dolphins, the Canes teams in the 80s to the early 90s. Those stretches of greatness from those kind of teams, that's exactly what we're witnessing from the Panthers right now. Same thing. Same thing. So I think they smell blood, and I think they're going to take them out tonight. You might be right. Maybe they lose, but I think those guys want to take them out. Man, I was proud of them the other night. They handled everything the right way. That you have to send that message every way, shape, and form. Win, physicality, forearm shiver to the head. That's your problem, dude. You took a dirty shot at our guy. Well, here you go. Payback is, as you know, a bitch. So now Hagel maybe might think about it next time. Next time he thinks about it, he goes, well, no, this team, I will have to end up with my head on a swivel. And that's how it goes. Let's see what else. Big O, you have the Dolphins finishing this year. Looking at the roster, it's a losing record or barely 500. You know, maybe they get 9 wins, maybe more like 8 or 9, 8 and 9, more like 7 and 10. Yeah, something like that. Maybe 6 wins like you've got there. Yeah, it's not going to be a good season. You don't have a great coach, dude. You need a great coach this year. This is going to be a season of transition. Everybody expects him to get fired and replaced by Weaver, but I think that that's the plan. Just in case McDaniel fails, which is expected, we start the Weaver era. One-Eyed Jack is buying the dip. You're a smart man. Because I know the markets are hurting once again, right? Where are we at here? The Dow is down 257. The S&P is down 56, and the NASDAQ barely down. And as always, I'm sure Bitcoin is holding stronger than 94,000, 93,883. So Bitcoin holding stronger than Bitcoin has completely decoupled from the stock market already. So if things get worse, it's only going to get much stronger. If things get better, it will also go up. So either way, you can't lose. So people like One-Eyed Jack can't lose. He's a winner all the time. Costa Nostra, the Dolphins avoided a crap show by not drafting Shedeur Sanders. Well, I don't know. Did you listen to the show already? I mean, I've already talked about that. Brian Radke, Corso is in the house. Country fried steak or Salisbury steak? I'm going country fried steak. I'm not a fan of the Salisbury. Right, exactly. I'll eat it if I got nothing else to eat. Okay, I'll eat the Salisbury, but country fried steak every time, Corso. Every time. Think Blue Dodgers is checking in. Didn't your Dodgers spank around the Marlins yesterday? And they must be depressed over there because Sandy's sucking and they can't trade him yet. Sandy will be fine. He'll build up the arm strength. He'll figure things out. He'll get on a roll, and then they'll move him. So don't worry about it. But, a little Randy Gonzalez says a barbecue chicken, honey chicken, fried chicken, no chicken. Florida Panthers in 5. Vamos Gatos. NorCal says, my boss has a dog that's related to True Fin Fan. He's blowing us out of the office. Jeez, help us. Yeah, Bonnie, my Carolina dog that we adopted a couple of years ago. He is just I've never had a Carolina dog, and we've owned all kinds of dogs. And a couple of things that I've learned over the short time, I wasn't a fan of Chihuahuas, and now I've learned to love those dogs because I've had 2 and they're phenomenal. Had no idea what the hell a Carolina dog was. And then we adopted one, and it's basically a different version of a golden retriever. At least mine is. He's got the heart of gold, dude. So it's just, beautiful thing, bro. Absolutely beautiful thing to have the doggies in the world. Let's see. Camera is not centered. I think that was old, right? Oscar Rojas. Big Johnson's grinding away. Ray Sosa says, fair to say Inter Miami doesn't win tonight. That's more likely than winning hardware this year. Yep. But Bonnie, by the way, I'm sorry, finishing the story. Bonnie, when he was a puppy, mad gas. Now doesn't do it anymore, which is fantastic. But when one of them does, we know, okay, we got to take them out. They got to go to the bathroom. Ray Sosa says, fair to say Inter Miami doesn't win tonight. They're more likely not winning hardware this year. Ray, let me tell you something. Look, I can tell you about stuff with Moss that might be a disaster, the way they run the side that isn't the players. Okay, but he's given Messi everything he wants. The Moss family has done everything that Messi wants. Their team is stacked, and they've accomplished absolutely nothing. And if you get embarrassed, if you get eliminated tonight by Vancouver, I mean, it's disgraceful, dude. And if you don't win the MLS Cup this year, so all it's been is a farewell tour for Messi here in North America for the Argentine fans. So they can just, the novelty, because that's exactly what this era of Inter Miami football will become, a novelty. It won't mean anything because you didn't win anything. And you can't spend this amount of money and not win anything. That doesn't make sense at all. And the Moss family does not deserve that. They spent the kind of money that you should have won the MLS Cup last year. You had the best team in the history of the league, and you couldn't get out of the first round against a worse team. So I would tell you, Ray, and finally I see it. I saw Michelle Kaufman and Andre Fernandez writing about it in the Herald. And I know there aren't enough people that even care about soccer to even talk about it or anything like that. So I get how soccer is kind of treated like the redheaded stepchild. And again, it's just a novelty. Because, let's go see Messi, the greatest player of all time. You know, top 2, top 3, or whatever your argument is. I don't care. Okay? That's all it is. Let me go see the greatest player, but they're actually not winning anything. And like I've said, Ray, it's interesting. Inter Miami last year stepped into the place where the 2010 Miami Heat are with LeBron James against the Mavs. The 86 team, against Penn State. That massive choke job. You know, when you talk about major choke jobs in the history of South Florida sports, those are 2 of them. They now join it. They are now, it's interesting. The greatest player or second or third, however you want to look at Messi. I know you got the Maradona and Pele argument or whatever, but one of the 3 greatest players in the history of the game is one of the 3 greatest chokers in the history of South Florida sports. That's where Messi stands, Ray. In South Florida lore, he's nothing but a choker. They gave the guy everything, and he can't do a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at Mario Cristobal. He had everything. He had more than enough to get to the playoffs. He couldn't even get to the ACC championship game. And he had enough to win it. He had a Heisman Trophy candidate at quarterback. You know, that's bad, dude. It's bad. Well, what Messi did last year, and if it happens tonight and they can't pull off the miracle, because they literally have to win 3-0 in order to advance. Okay? So they're going to win 4-1. All I can tell you is it can't be any more disappointing than what we've seen from them. So right now, Ray, and again, he doesn't care about his legacy here in South Florida. But it's a bad one. Just because he sold a bunch of tickets, that doesn't mean anything. Oh, and by the way, those tickets aren't being sold as much anymore. The games aren't sold out anymore, are they? The last game I saw seats. Oh, that's true. That's true. But I've seen I've seen a couple of the games with Messi that there's seats empty. So I don't know, man. I don't think they're even selling them all out anymore. Let's see, what else do we have? Skylar Tipton, Luis Medina, Steven Fenner, Juan Mendoza. The only thing I've learned from the Heat this week is that we have the most delusional fan base in the NBA. Yes, I've been talking about that for a while, Juan. Less than 48 hours, and I've already seen 100 Giannis to Miami tweets and edits and Photoshops. It's just, they're so silly, dude. They don't even see where they're at. Like, dude, Miami is so unimportant now in the NBA, and players don't care about Miami. They're not looking at this like a place that they're going to win anymore. And they don't have the foundation to win. And Giannis doesn't actually answer your questions, to be quite honest. So it'll help, but it's not going to put you in. Giannis or Durant aren't winning you anything because, one, you'll have to get rid of so much from the team to acquire those guys that you'll have nothing left. This will be Melo to the Nuggets all over again. Yeah, he has more with Milwaukee. Yes, just like the Knicks had more I'm sorry, Denver had more after the Melo trade than with Melo. In fact, I believe they made the playoffs that year and everything. Let's see. Jermaine says if Riley stays, they're going to give Tyler Hero a max deal. Well, that I don't think so. That would be that becomes an all-out season on Pat Riley. Put it that way. That's all. Can't stop it. But if they give Tyler a max, the fire Riley chance will, oh my God, they will go crazy. Because nobody can ever justify giving Tyler any more money than he's making. No one. In fact, there's a lot of us, yours truly included, I don't even want his ass on this team. He's too soft. So, Big O, maybe I'm an idiot, but I tried buying Bitcoin on Binance, and they wanted to charge me half of it to move it to my wallet. Everything I read online says that Binance has the lowest fees. Oh, that's buying fees. Gas fees to move is different. Okay? That's why I tell you guys on Cash App, it's free. And on Swan, the first 10,000 you buy is free. Oh, and by the way, buying fee is very low also. Maybe not as low as Binance. Binance might be a little bit lower, but then Binance charges you when you're going to move your Bitcoin. So, yeah. I would just here's an idea for you. Just an idea for you. If you just bought the Bitcoin, you're not making any money. Okay? Turn it over to Solana, right on Binance. They shouldn't charge you to convert it to Solana. Then move that over to your wallet. The Solana gas fees are very minimal. Anywhere. You'll see the difference between a Bitcoin and a Solana fee. And then you move it over, and then you can convert it back to Bitcoin on your wallet if you want. Or keep the Solana. Doesn't hurt you. And then buy Bitcoin and Cash App and move it for free, dude. Or buy it on Swan and move it for free. At least the first 10,000 on Swan. On Cash App, everything you buy, you can move it for free on the third option, the 24-hour option. 0 minutes to 24 hours. Sometimes it takes 10 minutes. Sometimes it takes 10 hours. Sometimes it takes 23 hours. Doesn't matter. It moves for free. Okay? So that would be my suggestion to you. And you're not an idiot, dude. We all live and learn doing this at the beginning. You know what? You know where I commend you, Ian, that you have the guts to do something that's super intimidating. It's so new to the entire world. That's why so many dodge it and avoid it, because they're ignorant and they don't know anything and they're not educated. And they don't take the time to actually learn about what's going on with our money, what Bitcoin is, what it means, and all that. And then to learn how to purchase it and a cold storage wallet and all those kind of things. In the end, Ian, what you're doing is what 95% of the world hasn't done. And then when they get on board, you're going to be a veteran at that point, because everybody's going to be forced to do it, whether they like it or not. Our entire world is headed to the blockchain. Our entire world will have digital wallets. It's just, that's where we're going. Everything will be tokenized. Whatever. So I commend you, my brother. There's nothing. I made a ton of mistakes early on. I try to help you guys so you don't make the same mistakes I did. Never, ever, where you feel like an idiot is like my boy Doc, who got all bent out of shape because I called his ass out because he called Tua soft. And I was like, bro, you got to stop with the Tua soft shit. You know what I mean? That's when you're an idiot. Like, the guy broke his hip. He came back in 10 months. He played for a head coach that hated him and still won more than he lost. He played for Saban, and push comes to shove. He told Hurts, sit your ass down. Tua, it's your game. And he won the national title. Guy doesn't practice because the coach doesn't want him around at all for the Baltimore week. And all of a sudden, Jabroni gets injured. He comes off the bench and leads him to victory off like calling Tua soft. The guy busted both his ankles and he said, "Oh, that ain't happening again. I'm going to wrap a titanium rod around it." Like calling Tua soft. Like somebody intercepted me. I'm going to go tackle and I'm going to take a knee to the head. He sucks at tackling, but does that look like a soft guy that went and did that? Does it look like he's a soft guy when he puts a shoulder into somebody when he shouldn't? Is he fragile? Is his body fragile? Yes, we've known that forever. But there's not an ounce of that guy. You call him soft? It's like, I don't know. I gave him all kinds of facts and he got all bent out of shape. He unfollowed me and everything. You know, like, bro, I don't have time for this. You know, you people that carry around your weak ass emotions and all that, you get called out. Too bad. My timeline, my show is like a bar. Okay. It's the barber shop. It's the park. Okay. Just because I love you doesn't mean I'm not going to call your ass out if you say something ridiculous. You know, so Ian, you, sir, are a stud. Okay. An idiot is somebody that calls Tua fragile. I'm sorry, soft. Come on, dude. Come on. The guy doesn't have an ounce of softness in him. In fact, he's too hardcore for his own good. Like, he thinks he's Jim Brown, bro. He thinks he's LeBron James. You know, he thinks he's Shaq. I don't know, I'm trying to think of these physical freaks. You know, that's what Josh Allen. Yeah, he thinks he's one of those guys. And he's Top Gun, bro. You know, he's writing checks his body can't cash. That's not a lack of toughness at all. It's craziness is what I call it. So, Ian, you're a stud, my brother. Just keep fighting the fight, man. You're going to come out on top. Let's see. Ray Sosa says, doesn't take much for those Heat Nation sites or 5 Reasons Sports to already start. Well, that's when you're only geared to one sport and that's all you talk about or whatever, you have to create interest. So they have to lie to you about Giannis and they have to lie to you about they have a chance at John Morant and, you know, that kind of stuff. That's what they're going to do because they have to sell papers. They have to get clicks. They have to get views. I don't do this show for that, man. My stuff is just, let's talk about the brutal reality of what it is. And the Heat have nothing. They're not going to get anything. I mean, how many times have you going to hear that from all those outlets and they're all wrong year after year with everybody else? Wasn't Giannis coming here the last time? Okay. Yeah, right. Every time he's unhappy, he's coming. I like that. Yep. Let's see. LB says Bam is the 6th man at best. Pat Riley's whole shtick hasn't worked for years. Heat are in a bit of a hole. At least Panthers are out here saving South Florida. Big O speaking facts. Yeah, it's just the Heat are in the worst position that they're in that Dolphin position that you're not bad enough to get the really good picks and you're not good enough to actually make an impact in the playoffs. That's where they're stuck, and that's where they're going to be stuck for the next few years. They're not going anywhere. They got nothing, man. They got nothing, unfortunately. I'll be watching. I love them, but they got nothing. I don't expect anything from the Heat for several years because of the position that Pat Riley and the front office has put themselves in. That's all. Prove me wrong. So far, you haven't the last few years. I said to trade Butler right after that last championship run. Prove me wrong. So, you know. Let's see. That's why I asked 99% of people I asked. They have no idea about it. Yeah, that's how it is. Big O, I think once Messi leaves, we'll be able to gauge who's a real Inter Miami fan. They don't really have Inter Miami fans. They have very little Inter Miami fans. The Inter Miami represents our community perfectly. Their fan base is like our population, transient. When Messi's gone, they're gone. Transient. They're doing nothing to establish anything long term. I've already talked about that. You know, instead of bringing up a young guy, you spend all this money on old guys. Brother, go buy a young guy and put him next to Messi. So that way, even when Messi does miss, the young guy is styling and scoring and becoming the guy that he becomes the Barkov that a generation grows up with, a Wade that generation grows up with. You know, that's where I commend the Panthers. They are signing stars and young stars. Lundell's going to be a star here for years to come, dude. Star. We just don't, we talk about him a little bit, but we haven't really, like, because he's just growing and growing. He's going to become a monster. But it's another young guy that kids are growing up with and watching. Wow, I saw Lundell since he was 20 years old with 3 hairs on his face. That's how you do it. And Barkov has grown up with a generation here. The Panthers give you players so you can grow up with. The Inter Miami is, they're just moving players in and out. And that's just not going to build a soccer, because you have so many international fans. They don't care about us here. The ones that live here, they don't care. It's like New Yorkers, right? Or people from Chicago. They're not Marlins fans. They're Cubs fans and Yankees fans and Mets fans. So they'll come when the Rangers come and the Knicks come and the Nets and the Cubs. And, you know, we have a lot of fans in South Florida that are transient internationally and nationally. And it affects our local teams. And if you don't establish a local connection so the locals can kind of build a connection with them, you cannot count on the transient fans to support you, because they're only going to come and go, because they are what their definition is, transient. So that's what Inter Miami has developed. Panthers, go look at it. Place is sold out. They committed to winning. They committed to stars. They're loaded with stars. They come through in the clutch. They have now made the playoffs 6 straight years. They're attempting to make it to a 3rd straight cup. This is historic stuff, man. And it starts with the foundation that you have built with Ekblad also being there with Barkov. And it's terrific that this week that story comes to it comes to a head, because the 2 guys that have been here from the get-go to build this thing, one guy got, hammered, and the other guy says, no, that's my buddy. No. You're not doing that to my guy. And that was beautiful, man. That was beautiful. You got something for me? Andrew Wiggins and Terry Rozier declined to speak. Yeah, well, yeah, they've got a lot of controversial stuff. Hey, Andrew, you sucked. They brought you here. They gave you an opportunity. You choked pretty much in every shot that you could. You played even worse than where you were at. Terry, you've been a terrible trade. You don't fit on this offense. What do you see in your future? Yeah, I don't think you want to deal with that. So, yeah, I can see why those guys avoided the Meteors. Not because they were going to say anything bad about the organization or anything. It's just they can't say anything good about themselves. Sad. Oh, the Heat are big boys. That's what I love about them. The Heat doesn't whine about you criticizing them when they deserve it. And they know it. They deserve it. They've been screwing up. They don't point fingers and blame others and stuff like that. That's why I say I love Pat. I support Pat Riley. The day he wants to leave, I'm good with that. I regretted what we did to Shula, and I'm never doing that again. So I'm glad Ron Frazier and Jim Larinaga and Jim Morris. I'm glad that they got to leave on their own terms. That's what we've got to do. And if the day Riley feels he can't do it anymore, he's earned that right to make that call. What we did years ago with Shula, that was the early part of my radio career, and I regret that to this day. So, look, things didn't end well for Larinaga, but it was his call, and the University of Miami did the right thing because that man had brought you so much. You must treat the people that treat you exceptionally. You must treat them the same way, and we must treat Pat Riley the same way. We can be critical. We can say he's not getting the job, but firing and he's, give him he has earned the opportunity to dig himself out of this terrible hole. Okay. They've dug themselves in a terrible hole, but he's earned the right to get out of it. And we've never recovered from Shula anyway. We ran Shula out of town. Jimmy sabotaged them and all that. And everybody that's come after Shula, we can't say they were, oh my God, there was so much better. No, it was usually worse. So I'm not doing this to Riley. I'm not doing it. Now, we can be critical. Yeah, the Heat is in a really bad situation right now. And they're going to have to learn to tank. Whether they like it or not, they may have to be a tanking team for the next couple of years if they really want to turn this around quickly. But if they want to try to keep putting the Band-Aid stuff, they don't have the goods. And the aprons are in the way and all of that. So you're not going to be able to do it. It's a shame, man. It really is. Let's see. Ocala Joe, thank you for smashing it. Don't forget, hit that like button. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation too on the program, by the way. All right. Let me tell you about the Big Cheese. Love talking about the Big Cheese and Gary and Billy. Rest in peace. We just lost Billy about a month ago now. And obviously, Billy and Gary started this over 40 years ago, and it is an institution. It's right down the street from the University of Miami. And by the way, if you're a Canes fan, I tell you this all the time. It's like a Hall of Fame in there, because the memories that are on that wall are priceless. Just going to the Big Cheese to just take an hour to walk around and read everything that's on those walls. I mean, just amazing stuff on Canes history over the last 40 years. And of course, the food is second to none. The garlic rolls are to die for. 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue. Give them a ring, 305-662-6855. And tell them that Big O sent you, man. They're good people out there at thebigcheesemiami.com. Inter has no interest in developing any or keeping young players. They're even pushing their only longtime player calendar out the door. Yeah. And Kremoski is like, I'm waiting for the day they let Kremoski move, because they've let everybody else go. Campana, everybody else. Look, Gressel is not, I'm not killing myself over Gressel getting, moved. You know what I'm saying? He has a role off the bench or something, but a guy like Campana, to me, that's the guy that at least for now I wanted next to Messi. Yeah, Robert Taylor. He's not young, but he's still good. Yeah, definitely, dude. I just Campana, man. I did not like the trade of Campana at all. I thought it was a real mistake. But what can I tell you? And I think that's why Chris Henderson is no longer here too, because I trust Chris Henderson more than anybody in the Inter Miami organization. And by pissing him off and him leaving to Atlanta, I think that just sets you up for failure, unfortunately. So that's where it's kind of screwed up. By the way, this episode, it's sponsored by Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Come check out their latest Cross Trek, featuring their all-wheel drive advanced safety tech and advanced ready capability. And of course, if you mention the Big O Show, you will get $500 off your next Subaru. Make sure you tell them that we sent you, and they will take care of you, and you will love it. Crosstreks, by the way, they've got a ton of them here on the dealership. You can check out the 2025 for $239 a month. The Forester, you can get the base $259 a month, sign and drive, 3.9% financing. The Outback Premium, $289 a month, sign and drive, 2.9% financing. And you got a youngster that wants to like start driving the Impreza, 5-door, $159 a month, 4.9% financing. Super affordable right now. Take advantage of it. Come on out here. Tell them that Big O sent you. Plus, you'll get $500 off. The Legacy Premium, $279 a month, 3.9% financing. The Ascent Premium, $323 a month, 3.9% financing. They've got a ton of deals for you. And, of course, an incredibly reliable vehicle. And they look sharp as hell, too, man. Subaru vehicles looking great. They've got some pre-owned vehicles also. So check it out here at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Let's see. I broke my hip 20 years ago in a car wreck, and it still hurts. Tua is stiff and he'll just wreck less. Listen, the problem with Tua is that they don't get an offensive line and a running game and a head coach. Okay? When they get that combination, not just Tua, but other quarterbacks can have success. And, but if you're expecting them to overcome those things, it's just too hard, dude. It's just too hard. Just is. You don't have to have the greatest receivers, but you have to have a running game. You have to have an offensive line, and you have to have a head coach that knows offense or an offensive coordinator or whatever it is. But you got to have it, dude. And if you don't have those three combinations, your quarterback is going to struggle one way or another. I'm sorry. But those are the realities that we live in, unfortunately. I'd love to tell you something different, but I can't. Let's see, what else do we have? We talk about how writers sometimes, most writers, I would imagine, most beat writers, and websites or podcasts that are exclusively geared to one sport. Okay, so Gus 1388, who we love to death, and he's always sending me stuff that he finds, and he's phenomenal, dude. He's just fine. I don't know what it is. I don't think he sleeps, actually, because he is constantly like finding stuff. It actually helps us on the show at times. I got to give Gus a lot of love for that. So he sends me something that they're trying to they're worried about the formula of the Holland compensatory pick in 2026. And because of the Agba signing in Philadelphia, that might keep it a fourth rounder and all that. And I'm like, wait a minute. What happens if Holland gets injured? What happens if Holland has a terrible season? What happens if Holland has an incredible season? All these things that can affect the formula of it, right? But yet they leave that out to just make it a subject now when you're a year away from that. Like, get a life, dude. I get it if you're just a Dolphin-centric person, site, or whatever. You're reaching for anything for clicks. But I mean, seriously, if you're a Dolphin and you're worried about, you're worried and discussing about a possible compensatory pick for Holland next year when the season hasn't even played out yet, like, wow, get a life. Get a life. I mean, it is crazy, crazy stuff. Okay. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. It's just, wow. It's funny, man. It really is funny. What else do we have that I saw on the Dolphin side? Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar, my friend. And, of course, the great Alan Blanco. If your company, corporation, your institution, school, whatever it is, you need uniforms, hats, shirts, whatever. Maybe you're going on some kind of field trip with 50, 100 people, and you all want to wear the same shirt. Call my guy at 3A Graphics Sports, 3A Graphics. Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. They do all of that, and you can do all that custom printing embroidery by Zoom and all that, and pictures, and they can ship it right out to you anywhere in the country. So call 3A Graphics, and this is the owner's personal cell, so he'll reach out to you right away, 786-618-1443. Tonight, Panthers and Lightning. The Panthers go for the elimination, baby. They are favored by 105, minus 105 on the money line. The Lightning are minus 115. No Aaron Ekblad. He is suspended for 2 games, so he'll miss this game, and he'll miss the first game of the next series. Tonight at 8 o'clock, we'll see if Inter Miami can avoid another massive choke job as they take on Vancouver. Inter Miami minus 180 on the money line. Vancouver, who handled Inter Miami, they're plus 450 on the money line. I call that a bargain. I think it's a bargain. I think it's value. Okay, I'm not saying to bet it, but if I'm looking at it objectively, they're 2-3-2 in their last 7 games. They're not really shocking the world at this point in time. Vancouver made them look older and slower the other night. So I'm just telling you, okay? So Saturday, by the way, the ladies, Fort Lauderdale United take on Brooklyn FC, 7:30 beyond Bankcard Field. All right. Let's see what else do we have here on the program. I doubt the Heat will tank. They should, but I doubt they will tank, by the way, Drew. I see you writing that. I doubt they'll do that. I just don't see it happening, man. By the way, come on out here at Subaru Pembroke Pines, man. See my guys, Eric, Juan, all the great people out here, man. We got some really, really good people out here at Subaru Pembroke Pines. So come on out and check it out. And great vehicles, too, on top of all of that. All right, let's take a quick break. Hour number 1 is done. We've got hour number 2 coming up. And, of course, this hour is brought to you by Subaru of Pembroke Pines. You can come out and check out the Crosstrek, featuring their all-wheel drive advanced safety tech and advanced ready capability. And, of course, mention us and you'll get $500 off your next Subaru. Back with hour number 2 from Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated number 1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's number 1 volume Subaru retailer.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed. They're breaking into my house! Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop. No, not the TV! Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you. Get out of my house! Get out of the house! Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
South Florida, listen carefully. Asmani Garcia with Omega Realty Group is changing the game. He's not just listing homes. He's guaranteeing to sell yours in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it himself. No excuses, no delays, no fine print games. This is real. If you're serious about selling, call 305-440-1990 and see if your home qualifies. Osmani Garcia delivers results. Osmani Garcia, the home of the 30-day sale guaranteed, where guarantees are backed by action. Call now, don't wait. This market won't wait for you. Restrictions apply. Call 305-440-1990.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge, Total Landscape Solutions.
Where can you drive the new 2025 Acura Integra for only $289 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Be Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty, we are back, baby. Hour number 2 coming to you live from Subaru of Pembroke Pines, 16100 Pines Boulevard. Come on out and say hi. Looking forward to the Panthers game tonight. It's one of those where it's just like I feel different when I watch a Panthers game than I watch most any other team. Even Inter Miami tonight, I'm going to be nervous watching that game on the side because they don't breed the same kind of confidence. You know, with the Dolphins and with the Heat, they breed almost no confidence. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. Like tonight, I never did. Were you nervous when they went down 2-1 after the forearm shiver? Right? I didn't flinch. Like, you know, I know my boy Hateful Steve there. He was flinching already. Oh, they shouldn't have done that, but you had to send that message. And I'm glad that they sent that message. And remember what we talked about in that final regular season game between Tampa and Florida. And the Panthers paid no mind to that game, yet the Lightning took it so serious. And right there, I knew mentally the Panthers had them right where they wanted them. Because for many years, it was the other way around, the way it was supposed to be, because Tampa was really good and the Panthers organization was just not there yet, and they would fall short every single time. But finally, Viola and company figured it out. They brought in the right general manager, and that general manager has built the team that is built to beat Tampa and win in the playoffs. Because the one thing, it's a lot like the Dolphins. The Panthers weren't built to win in the playoffs. They were soft. They couldn't play physical. When it gets to the playoffs, it gets ugly. It gets physical. Dolphins, well, we haven't run the ball since I was a kid. When I was 7 and 8 years old, when we won the 2 Super Bowls, that's when we could run the ball. We can punch you in the mouth on offense and on the defensive lines. We have never had that combination since the 70s. Just haven't. And even in the Marino years, you were confident about when Danny had the ball. You weren't confident when the other team had the ball. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like one of those. In the Fiedler years, you're confident when Jason Taylor and Zach Thomas are on the field. You're not confident when Jay Fiedler and the offense are on the field. You know what I'm saying? And that is the beauty of where we're at right now with the Panthers. You could make a mistake and go down 1-0 or 2-0, or you can have a penalty and you're down and they scored 2 goals on you in 11 seconds. And all of a sudden, that kind of momentum, the old Panthers would have folded. The old Panthers would have folded. That's why tonight I feel incredibly confident about what they're going to do tonight. I think you're going to get a team that's going to be hungry. They're not going in there and they're going to go, oh, it's 3-1. We still got games at home and we're fine. I don't believe that's how those guys think. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that's how they think at all. I think they want to go out there and ball and prove that they're dominant. And on top of all of that, it gets them rest. What's the series that they face? Where's that series at right now? I forgot now because I haven't checked the score of the last night or two. Right. I don't think it's Washington who we play next. Yes, Toronto. That's the one. Yes. Yes, I think you are correct. I think that's the one. Yeah. Ray says, with the Panthers, you can always be confident in them bouncing back and stepping up in big moments. Can't say that about any team in South Florida. It's not just an Inter thing, Ray. Huh? And it's over already? Oh, okay. So it's 3-2. So, yeah, they can still go 7. Yeah. So you want to – and they don't play tonight, right? Awesome. See? So eliminate them and then buy yourself a couple of extra days. Hope that goes to 7 and they beat themselves up. Yeah. 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 Oh, yeah. 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 By the way, Bitcoin's over 94,000, back to 94,191. Okay. Market is hurting. 140 points down, 35 for the S&P. NASDAQ's down about a half of a point. So there we're at. Corso's asking me now, Philly cheesesteak versus pizza. One must be tariffed. Oh, man. I can't. Bro, pizza? No, I can't. Cheesesteak gets tariffed. Because I can have a steak sandwich, and I can have a Cuban steak sandwich, and I can have all kinds of other steak type things. I'm not eliminating pizzas, bro. Are you kidding me? No. That's like one of my favorite foods of all time. Pizza. Yeah, no, dude, no. Pizza's so quick. It's convenient. It's not. Yeah, dude, no. Yeah. No. Cheesesteak doesn't stand a chance. Philly cheesesteak pizza. That's right. We got you. So, Travin, you couldn't get out of that. Yeah, definitely a Pizkers. You tariffed the hell out of the Philly cheesesteak. Definitely. And that way Eagles fans have nothing else to stand on. You know, that's it. Just so we can take it out on them. Yep. Wayne says, 100% agree with your comments yesterday. Not an eye for an eye, but an eye for your life. And that's what the Dolphins hadn't had in 40 years. Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. What the Panthers did, that's exactly what you're supposed to. Dude, that's what I talked about. All we did was watch our guys take hits all the time. Trocheck, how many times would I be so pissed that Vinny Trocheck was taking cheap shots and we did nothing about it? Nothing. Those days are done, bro. We're going to go after you as a normal team. They're going to be all over you as it is. And if you want to play dirty, well, then they're going to play dirtier then. You know, and that's what I want from my hockey team. That's the only way you send a message that we're not going to take no crap. And especially, you know what it is to lay out Barkov like that? And you're just not going to do anything about it? In the next round, they're going to see that, and they're going to say, oh, okay, and there's always a few goons on every team that they're more than willing to take somebody out. And if they see that you're not going to, retaliate, now Tampa knows not only will they retaliate, they hit a few people in that game. Okay? Because the other guy got slammed into the wall he was trying to get up, which that one was kind of dirty. The one that the guy, that one was dirty. That one was dirty, but but the message is sent that, hey, dude, we're don't try to be the tough guys because we can do the same thing. And I think you have to do that. I think it's important to do that. Just like I think it's important for you to hire the right lawyers. And Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom, that is it right there. 954-966-4646. Personal injury, bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation. Call my guy, Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. They've been a sponsor for all 5 years of our platform. They've been amazing. And so many of you over the years have called Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom, 954-966-4646. Or if you're dealing with any of those issues, trust me, they have helped all of our listeners all over Florida. especially some of ours in the West Coast when we had all the storms. They called Welton Rayom. So call them. Consultations free, 954-966-4646. How about Giannis getting into it with Halliburton's dad? I mean, it's really a ridiculous story. I feel bad in a way for Giannis, and he's got to go already. He's got to get out of there. But here's how this story goes. Giannis said the confrontation between him and the father of guard Tyrese Halliburton at the end of Game 5 in their first-round playoff series was sparked by disrespectful behavior. Halliburton hit what would be the game-winning shot with 1.3 seconds remaining in overtime to clinch the 119-118 win. In the moments after the game, Antetokounmpo said he was approached by John Halliburton during the celebration. Video shows the elder Halliburton approaching the two-time NBA with a towel held up. The pair then later came face-to-face with one another as tensions ran high before eventually being separated by players and other security personnel. Losing the game, emotions run high. Having a fan, which at the moment I thought was just a fan, but then I realized it was Tyrese's dad, which I love Tyrese. I think he's a great competitor, showing me his son's towel with his face on it saying, "This is what we do. This is what we effing do. This is what we effing do." I feel like it was very disrespectful. And by the way, I agree with him. When he wins, he doesn't rub anything in anyone's face. He doesn't do that. He's humble. He's a proper champion in his own right. And at that moment, obviously he's frustrated, he's disappointed, everything. I mean, nothing's gone the Bucs' way the last couple of years. No matter what they try. Since that championship, everything's gone the other way, whether it's losing players, adding the wrong players, or a trade now that turned out to be disastrous with Damian Lillard. So the guy's frustrated, but why is Halliburton's dad acting like a complete punk? If I was Tyrese behind the scenes, obviously you're not going to embarrass your dad publicly and all that, but behind the scenes, I would tell him, I'm never getting you another ticket again. You want to go, you can go buy yourself a ticket if you want. I'm not doing that. You embarrassed me. What are you doing? Acting like a 5-year-old, like a 15-year-old. You know what I mean? And I'm not here to say Tyrese Halliburton himself is a perfect human being, because none of us are. But this is all about his dad acting like a horse's ass. Embarrassing, dude. Embarrassing. And I hope Tyrese has, some guts to approach his dad and tell him to do it right. By the way, smash the hell out of that like button. Because just ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Anyway, what else do we have? NFL fines the Falcons $250,000, and the defensive coordinator, Jeff Ulbrich, also gets fined $100,000 because of his son, who stole Shedeur Sanders' number and did that stupid prank call during the draft to embarrass the kid, which, again, every young man has worked their way to this moment. That's something that we all have to respect, man. Have a little common sense. People don't you go in the middle of an interview where you think you're about to get hired, and you pop in to the interview room and start mouthing off on, "Oh yeah, bitch, you're gonna get this job. Yeah, come on, fool. You got to hire." And yeah, you're gonna get hired right away. Like, it's your moment. You're trying to get a job, or maybe the first day at work, somebody shows up and that's a friend of yours and starts embarrassing you at work or something. I mean, it would be the equivalent of that, which would leave you shell-shocked, which would leave you in a point where you're like, "Oh my God, what is going on here, dude? They're messing with my money." And so that kid, not a fan of that kid. But kids will be kids. They do stupid things. It is what it is. The NFL did the right thing here. You have to find the team and you have to find the coach. I like this move. The only thing I want to know now is what is Father Ulbrich going to make father's son do for that $100K? Because I think the kid's like 18. Well, he said the right things because they made him say the right things, and they wrote it out for him also. On top of all of that, he did not write that apology letter. Yeah. So if he still lives at home, yeah, and it's like, okay, you're gonna take out the trash till you're like 80. Forget about it. Oh, wait a minute. You wanted a car? Yeah, no, that's not happening anymore. I just wonder how do you, because you got to make your son pay for this one way or another. You just can't say, oh, well, okay, we'll chalk it up to a mistake and that's it. You're paying $100,000 for that mistake and a major level of embarrassment with your team and the NFL and all of that. And this is what you're known for now. Right. Yeah. Now they're not going to trust him. Yeah. You lost trust that too. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is like devastating for him in so many levels and disturbing by the kid to do that to it's not a Shador thing. Any kid, man. For other players? Oh, I didn't know that. There were 3 other players that got crank calls besides Shador. So there's more leaks. No, that's a phone by the NFL. The NFL send the draft picks a phone that only NFL teams had the numbers on. So that phone was specifically only for that. Yeah, for the top players they send them to, not the 4th rounders. Yeah. No, they probably didn't. So they gave Shador one of the phones in the first couple rounds that they do because they want to make sure they control it. But I did not know there were 3 other players that got that. See, that's disgusting, man. Doesn't matter if you're a 7th rounder or a 4th rounder or a 1st rounder. God bless you, dude. That's a great moment. None of us would ever get drafted or signed or even thought of or even a nothing. We wouldn't even be part of anything that they're doing. It's an incredible honor to get selected by an NFL team. Incredible honor. Very few people do that. And if you're one of the few that get drafted in those 7 rounds, Jesus, God bless you, man. What a great moment. Who? Oh, yeah, Tyler Warren? Oh, but that's a Abdul Carter. So then those are the phones. Is Hegseth in charge of those phones? It's probably what it is. Pete Hegseth is in charge of those phones. So, it's probably what's going on. I mean, if it's that loose, there's got to be a Hegseth involved. Let's see. Corso says most underrated superpower. Get me a good deal on a WRX. Come on down. We'll get you one. All right. Come on down, baby. Terrific car too. I mean, Subarus are just they're like tanks, dude. They're awesome. And they look great. Really cool now. Let's see. Kid definitely needs to grow up, but my God, some of the things I've seen on Twitter are ridiculous. Like I've seen people say he should go to jail. Nah. But you do gotta put him through a ringer. If you're the dad, you gotta make him pay some kind of a price. You know what I mean? You gotta put him through some kind of hell. That's all. Okay. Ask for Eric. Okay? Ask for Eric and tell him that Big O sent you. All right? what's it called? Brian Medina also is the manager here too. Eric. Okay, hold on. All right, what else do we have here? Big old the real Ramsey story. I already told you the real Ramsey story. I told you that before everybody else. He wants out. That's all. It's not complicated. The Dolphins the Dolphins made it complicated. Okay? But it's not really what it is, you know? So it's the guy wants out. I've been telling you for months that several people have lost complete confidence and they want out, and Calais Campbell wanted no part of this, and Von Holland, even though they didn't come up with a deal, dude, he was dying to get out of here completely. So, that is the thing. So, anyway. Let's see. Isn't Ulbrich the former Jets? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. So Ramsey's story is pretty simple. He just wants out. That's all it is. By the way, tonight it's Warriors and Rockets. Rockets are favored by 3.5. The over and under is 203.5. Golden State leads 3-1 in that series. Warriors are positive 136 on the money line. Warriors are positive 136 on the money line. And Rockets are minus 162 on the money line. So Vegas likes the Rockets in this one. And at 10 tonight, T-Wolves and Lakers. Lakers are favored by 5.5. The over and under is 209. T-Wolves plus 190. Lakers minus 230. And Minneapolis, or Minnesota, that is, leads 3-1 in that one too. Last night, Indy eliminated the Bucks, like we talked about with Giannis, 4-1. Pistons won, so they're still alive. Knicks are leading 3-2. Boston eliminated the Magic 4-1, and Denver defeated the Clippers. So Denver now leads 3-2 in that series. So we got all of that going on. All right, good stuff. All right, give us 30 seconds. Back with more right here on the Big O Radio Show, live from Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer. Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right, we are back here at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, 16100 Pines Boulevard. And of course, this segment, it's brought to you by Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Come on out and check out the Crosstrek, featuring the all-wheel drive, the advanced safety tech, and the adventure-ready capability. Mention us, and you will get $500 off. The amazing Eric Stampone is kind enough to join us now on the show. How you feeling, Eric? You feeling good?
I'm excited. First time on radio.
First time.
I'm going to try to keep up with you.
All right. Well, you can. By the way, Corso, who's a hardcore listener of ours, he says he wants a good deal on a WRX. So what can you do for him, man? What can you do for him?
His name's Corso?
Corso Travin.
Well,
Corso Travin.
It's no secret the best deals are always on the last day of the month. So, Corso, today's the last day of the month. Come down and ask for Eric Stampone, and I'll do something extra special for you today if you could get here today.
Yeah, man.
I got a couple WRXs left.
Yeah, man. So come on out here. They can take care of you. They're good people out here. You'll get $500 off for mentioning me. So all of that, and you'll get yourself one hell of a reliable vehicle. A lot more reliable than the Heat, right?
For sure. Definitely.
You're looking
for the Heat. It's done, right? That series?
Yeah, it's done, dude. They're done. And I don't know how they get better over the next couple of years because they don't really have a lot of picks.
We need a superstar.
And they have no juice to get it. They don't have the picks. They don't have the cap space. They don't have players that are sexy to trade. It is rough. Unlike the Panthers tonight.
I'm a diehard Panther fan.
I mean,
I think the only thing I like more than Subaru of Pembroke Pines is the Florida Panthers.
The Panthers are, stars galore and clutch and tough.
Yeah.
I love that. I love what Ekblad did to Hagel the other night.
I was at that game.
Yeah.
That was incredible to be at live. They scored 2 goals in 11 seconds to win it. It was crazy.
And they scored 2 goals right after that forearm shiver.
Yes.
To take the 2-1 lead. And it was like, okay. And then it took a little while, but then they answered back. And that's the thing about that team, dude. That team, I like when they went down 2-1, I was like, I'm good, bro. They'll be fine. They'll figure it out. And they hammered away, man.
Yeah, I was there with one of our finance managers here at Subaru Pembroke Pines, Glenn Martin. So we worked hard that day and then went to the game right after. He's sitting right here.
Yes. I love it, man. I mean, it's the only team we can count on, bro.
Right now, for sure.
Can't count on the Dolphins. The Heat can't count on. Marlins don't spend any money whatsoever. Inter's got a nice, I don't know, are you into soccer at all?
I'm into soccer. I'm into all sports. Why? What did Inter just get somebody?
No, because tonight they play, but they haven't won anything significant yet.
Okay.
That's my point.
Where are they playing?
Oh, they're playing Vancouver tonight in the CONCACAF. So if they lose tonight, they're eliminated from the CONCACAF Champions Cup.
Must win. Big
yes.
game.
Well, no, it's not just must win, dude. They got to win by 3 goals because the goal differential. They lost 2-0 the other night in Vancouver. So this is the next game, and they've got to win because of goal differential by a difference of 3 goals.
Wow.
Yeah, not going to happen, right? Yeah. That's why I'm saying that if it's not for the Panthers at all, Eric, I don't know who we can count on in this town right now, dude.
Panthers are playing tonight, I think, right?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Tonight.
If they win, we move
Tampa.
on to the second round.
Yes. Yeah.
Big game.
Yeah, it's a huge game, man.
Go Cats.
I cannot wait. Did you watch any of the draft?
The NFL draft?
Yeah. You what do you think about the Dolphins?
I like what the Dolphins did because they addressed our needs.
Yes.
We got a lot of big guys up front.
Yeah.
So it's not like the fancy skill players that everybody likes, but that we got a lot of beef. We got a lot of beef on the O-line and D-line, which is what we needed. So I'm happy about it. I think that's what we needed.
Well, a WRX purple is also what somebody may need also here.
Yeah, I was telling you about that. We got a new special edition color. We're only getting a certain amount of these cars. We're taking orders of them now. On the WRX and the BRZ only, there's a deep purple limited edition color this year that Subaru just released. We're taking orders on. I got the first one in. It's currently available. It's here on the lot. It's a purple BRZ that we have. The WRXs aren't going to be here for another, I think, month or 2, but we're taking orders on those as well.
And you got a hybrid.
Yeah. So for a long time, customers have been asking for Subaru hybrids. I don't know what took so freaking long. But we have a Forester hybrid. It's brand new. We're taking orders on those as well. But we did get the first couple in this month that are actually pre-sold.
What does it get for the full tank?
I want to say with the Forester hybrid combined, you're getting anywhere from 35 to 36 miles per gallon, as opposed to the regular one, you were getting like 28. So
which, by the way, 28 is pretty damn good.
Yeah. No, it's Subaru. You got it's great gas mileage. Obviously the all-wheel drive really sticks to the road, especially
dude. And in South Florida,
with the rain,
and the mud and the hurricane season, where you may have to do a little off-roading and all that kind of stuff. I think Subarus become even more important in today's world, dude.
100%. And I've been working at this location for 4 years, going on 5 years, and it's unbelievable of how the brand has grown in South Florida.
Yeah,
because people hear Subaru and they're all over Colorado and like these mountainous states with snow, but even down here, like within these last couple of years, it's like
if you just pay attention on the road, and look at the cars around you, you'll see a lot of Subaru logos.
Oh yeah. They're great cars. I mean, you see Toyotas everywhere, right? Like Toyota's a high volume store. A Subaru is a more affordable Toyota right now.
Right.
Obviously both made in Japan. We got some factories here where they're doing more and more production out of the States, which is great.
Something tells me they're going to want to ramp that up a little bit more.
Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan.
And by the way, the Crosstreks, you guys got a large selection of Crosstreks too.
Yes. So the Crosstreks are our number one seller. So what we sell the most of is what the manufacturer sends us the most of. So that's our number one seller. That's what we get the most of. So we got plenty of Crosstrek inventory here now.
They're all over the place now. The Crosstreks.
It's a great car. My brother's on his third one. That's all he drives is the Crosstreks.
Yes, I mean and the other thing that I like, and I was talking with Juan last time about this, is that the cars look cool now, dude.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to tell you that so right now we're in the 2025 model year. End of this year, they're coming out with a 26 Outback that's completely redesigned.
Nice.
So you Subaru lovers out there who are familiar with the Outback model, wait until you see this new one. I think they just released pictures on Subaru.com's website. They completely redesigned the whole car. It's sick. It's sick. I actually ordered one myself.
And by the way, the premium, you can get it now for $289 a month. So you guys got some good deals going on. How about if somebody is looking for a sports car? What's the option here? Which options do you suggest?
Sport car, you got, I'd say 2 for sure, maybe 3. The sport cars would be like a WRX, which is a 4-door. And then you also have the BRZ, which is like a 2-door coupe. Both the cars come in manual or automatic. You could get in either or. The other third option would be the Impreza, which is like a smaller sedan, but there's an Impreza RS package that's a little more sporty, and it comes in like a hot blue called Oasis Blue. So that's a pretty cool car.
The Impreza's, what was that? What did Corso say? What did Corso say? I'm on the phone waiting for Eric. LOL. The Impreza, what I say a lot is, if you got a kid and he or she wants to learn how to drive, that's a great car to start them off in, dude.
I think
super affordable.
Between like a base Crosstrek or a base Impreza, I'd argue that is the best first car to get for like a young 17-year-old.
The Impreza are like $159 a month right now. Like, dude, that's a joke.
Yep, and they're safe.
Right.
Oh. Safe.
Yeah, that's the thing with Subaru. Safe.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? I am.
And it feels good. Like hearing the stories, you know, it feels good to sell a product that's so safe. Like I can't tell you how many customers come in here thanking me, and I didn't build it, for saving their cousin's life in an accident or saving a friend's life, and they're never gonna leave the brand because of how safe it is. So it feels good. You know,
it's what it's known for, man. It's the reputation.
Yep.
And for me, I am moving away from cars. My next vehicle is going to be SUV. I'm going SUV because of the damn weather, puddles, and all that kind of. It's like you got to be a little bit more elevated. So the Solterra is the one that I'm.
The electric one?
Oh, I love the Solterra, bro.
Yeah.
That is.
It's electric. Oogie woogie woogie.
Woogie woogie. Yes.
Don't put gas in it.
Huh?
Don't go to the gas station.
No. What's that go for the full charge?
I want to say it's right above it's like 220 range. Don't quote me exact. It's right above 200 range.
And explain to folks the charger, because you can take it home and get it installed, or you have there's a portable one too. Is there?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah. So I'm not like Solterra certified with the exact different chargers. I could get somebody that could explain it much better than myself, but I know
from what I understand,
there's
in
two
general,
of them. There's
right?
two
There's
of
two
them.
of them.
So there's one that just plugs in, and then there's another grade that you could buy, and it pretty much you could install it at your house, and you're just gonna get a quicker install.
Right. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. So you get that option, and I think Florida even has some discounts. I don't know if they still have it or something, but they were giving some breaks before. I don't know if that's still there, but you may want to look it up too if you do purchase.
Yeah, with the
an electric vehicle.
Solterra right now, if you lease, you get this $7,500 tax credit on a lease that you could apply towards the lease. And then if you were to finance, Subaru offers 0% on that 25 Solterra.
So there you go, Corso. Maybe you want to get a Solterra. That's what I'm going to get in 26, bro.
They're coming out with a new electric car.
I will be in the market at the beginning of 26. I will be in the market for a new one, and somewhere in the Zin family I will land. But since I've seen the Solterra, I really like the Solterra, dude. It is a really nice vehicle. Yeah,
we got one right out front, that blue one.
Yeah, dude, it is a really nice SUV. I really like that one a lot. So yeah, good stuff, man. All right, so Eric Stampone, tell them anything else about Subaru Pembroke Pines that they can come out and see you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I tell folks when they're here, I think Subaru Pembroke Pines is the best dealership in the state. We got a great environment, a great staff. It's positive. I try my best to like really make it a point to like change the stigma of unfortunately my business have. So every customer that comes here, it's positive, it's light, it's no pressure. We're here to help. So anything that's stopping you just to come visit us or just to say hello, we'll make it fun. It's a good positive experience to buy a car. It should be exciting.
It is a relaxed atmosphere.
Yeah, it's I try to carry myself that way, and we coach the staff to be that way. So it's a cool place. It's a great place to work, and hopefully a great place to buy a car.
So, by the way, did you pick up the love for music from your dad?
Probably.
I've known his dad for like 15 years or something.
Yep.
Since, you know.
Yeah. So the Rolling Stones, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
You name it. I could talk Led Zeppelin with him forever. I can talk all kinds of stuff with him. But yeah, he is a mad Stones fan, dude. He loves the Stones. For him, I think the Stones are the greatest band ever.
He's gonna put the Stones the greatest band ever,
Yeah,
and this is
sure.
the debate in my family. I'm gonna ask you, and this is gonna cause a lot of controversy. Who's better, the Beatles or the Stones? Who do you got ranked better in all-time rankings? That's a tough one.
I'm gonna go with the Beatles because their influence is undeniable. They were first.
Yeah.
And see where people don't understand something about the Beatles and they don't put it in the right perspective. All right, think about it. You're a rock band right now. Okay, you're a young rocker. Okay, now I can go and listen to all kinds of bands for the last 40 years to get an idea of what I want to do or an influence. What were the Beatles' influence? How did they come up with Hey Jude? Where'd they get that?
Very unique.
It came out of nowhere. So when you talk about the Beach Boys, when you talk about the Beatles, or if you talk about Kraftwerk, I don't know if you know anything about electronic music, but Kraftwerk came out in the early 70s.
Never heard of Kraftwerk.
Well, you have. You just don't know that
I've heard their music.
You've heard their music.
Got it.
And all the electronic music came from Kraftwerk.
Okay.
Okay. So when we talk about certain bands and certain artists, especially the ones that start the genre, you're like, okay, well, wait a minute. How did Nirvana do this when nobody was doing grunge?
Right.
You understand? So
Yep.
you got to
pioneers.
You got to give pioneers a little extra because they brought it from nowhere. Like, okay, you started doing psychedelic rock. I get it. You were probably on some really good drugs.
Yeah, when you said where they come up with that, I was like, I got an idea.
Yeah, exactly. But that idea is music that nobody had ever heard of.
Yeah.
You know, so when the B-52s come out with Rock Lobster, you're like, what the hell is that? And then it became a phenomenon because punk became a phenomenon or new wave in that sense. Because they came up with a different genre, different style of music. You know what I mean? So for me, when you run into certain acts like that, like the Beatles or others that I mentioned, I give them extra respect because they brought it first, dude. And they brought it out of a memory of nothing, from a complete blank slate. That's super impressive.
You heard it first here. The Big O's got the Beatles over the Rolling Stones.
I think they're over everybody.
Yeah. Oh, you got them one.
They're number one.
Okay.
They're number one. I mean, my favorite.
It's hard to argue.
I think if you tell me my favorite rock band, I'm going to say it's Led Zeppelin, the best rock band out there ever.
Right, but you can't rank them over the Beatles all
But
time.
I'm not going to put anybody over the Beatles because there probably is no Led Zeppelin without the Beatles.
Right.
You know, the Beatles. Every time you hear an artist talk about who influenced them, oh, the first time I saw the Beatles, the first time I saw the Beatles, the first time I saw it, they all say it because
hard to argue.
Because they did something that nobody had ever done before. Like, what is this? I've never heard this sound.
Yeah.
You know, and it's rapping. When Sugar Hill Gang came out, you know, that was it.
Right.
Melly Mel and all those other people that started rap, you got to give them credit because nobody had done that at that point.
Did you hear, I think it came out like a year or two ago, the new Beatles song?
Oh yeah.
It's good.
It's all right, but I think it's one of those where if you want to recapture the real Beatles magic, that's not there, but you can see why that one didn't make the cut. You know what I mean? It was good, but it wasn't
because they didn't make it. Good point.
You know what I'm saying? Because
they didn't make it for a reason.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even think about it like that.
Because we don't look at it like, you know, Yellow Submarine, or we're not going to look at it like any of the real great songs. We're not going to look at it the same way, and neither did they.
Right. It's just cool.
Led Zeppelin has an album called Coda.
Yeah.
I like it. It's all right, but that's music that was left over from the other albums. There's a reason why it was left over, you know. So,
but us as fans just like hearing new stuff, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Because you'll never get it again.
Unreleased, new, what?
Because you'll never get it because there's stuff that they all recorded and they just said, yeah, no, we don't like it. It's not good enough. Yep. You know, although it's crazy because sometimes it's the reverse. Toto needed to find and make a last song for the album, and they go, all right, we'll put this one, even though we don't think it's going to be a hit. Africa. No, they all thought the song Africa would never be a hit. Well, it was their greatest hit ever.
Wow.
You know, so sometimes it happens that way. Eric.
Cool stuff.
Thank you, my brother.
Thanks for having me, Big O.
Appreciate you, bro. We'll talk next month here at Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
See you next
friend.
month. Good seeing you, sir.
You got it. You got it. Thank you as always. And Subaru of Pembroke Pines, check out the latest, the Crosstrek, featuring their all-wheel drive, advanced safety tech, and adventure-ready capability. And, of course, tell them that Big O sent you, and you will get $500 off. It's a beautiful thing. All right. Yes. What do we have? Let me get to a little musica. Since we just talked a little music, it's apropos to kind of go into a little music before I go back to sports here. All right, let's start off with birthdays for musicians on this date. On the 30th, the final day of the month. Travis Scott, American rapper, singer, songwriter, born on this date in 1992. Harry Bauer, record producer, known for the Harlem Shake, which the Heat made that famous during the, they used it during their run, the Harlem Shake stuff. They did their own Harlem Shake thing. Steve Aiello, born in 1983 from 30 Seconds to Mars. Lloyd Banks, Christopher Lloyd from G Unit, born in 82. Who else? Celebrating birthdays. Chris Henderson, guitarist for Three Doors Down, born in 71. Paolo Destructor Jr. from Sepultura, born in 69. Turbo B, born in 67, rapper, musician with the group Snap, born in 67. Wow, how about this, dude? Wonder Mike, Michael Anthony Wright, rapper with the Sugar Hill Gang, born in 57. How about that? Just talked about him. That is amazing. Wayne Kramer, MC5, baby. The what is it? The father, we call him, or something like that. I forgot what it is. Anyway, born in 48. We lost him in 2024, just recently, actually. And that is it for musicians. Let's go with other famous people celebrating birthdays today. Cloris Leachman, born in 26 on this date. Actor Gary Collins, born in 38. Actor Burt Young, born in 40. Joe Claiborne, born in 44. Merrill Osmond, musician from the Osmonds, born in 53. He's 72 today. Isaiah Thomas, Hall of Famer, basketball, born in 61. He's 64. J.R. Richards from Dishwalla, born in 67. He's 58 today. Let's see. Johnny Galicki from anyway, he's born in 75. He is 50 today from Big Bang Theory. There it is. Damn it. Who else? Kristen Dunst, born in 82. She's 43. Gal Gadot, born in 85. She's 40. And those are your famous folk. Sean Stanley, do you happen to have wrestlers born on this date, sir?
I do, but you took another one of mine. Travis Scott. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. He's been on 2 shows.
I had no idea.
Danny Palmer turns 27 today. Santos Escobar turns 41. And Sean Davari is 41 on the last day of April 30th, 2025.
All right. Okay. Let's find out what happened today also in music history on the 30th. Sorry, I was just checking something. Still at 94,000. The Bitcoin is still at 94,000. All right. Why is this thing screwing up here? All right, let me try it again. Trying to bring up I don't know why oh, well, I may not be able to do music history. Can't even bring up the thing. I don't know. I guess it's a dead link right now, that website. So what are you going to do?
Well, yes, you had a story a while ago about Utah Hockey Club.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, apparently, Utah Hockey. Yeah, they're going to be called the Mammoth, I think. Well,
apparently now it was between three names, but Utah Mammoth looks like it took it as they have changed their by accident. Apparently, their YouTube URL is now at Utah Mammoth for the Utah Hockey Club.
All right, there you go. The Mammoth are in. I mean, that was kind of the buzz that Mammoth was going to be the whole thing, because they wanted to stay away from Grizzly or what was the other name off of a Grizzly? I forgot what it was, the other name that they were talking about. And so they went with Mammoth to kind of go off of that and the whole ice thing. And
apparently these were the 3 that they reached. The Mammoths, keeping Utah Hockey Club, or the Utah Outlaws.
Outlaws, wow.
Those 3 were the finals that were
right.
I mean, if you don't gear it up to where Mammoth wins, I don't know what else wins.
They what was the other thing? It's not like a Grizzly, but it's something else. It's not. They couldn't use.
You talking about it before? It was,
it was something else. I forgot what it was, but yeah, it was something else that they were, but
we were having fun with it.
I don't think it was a polar bears or anything, but it was something. I forgot what it was. Weird. I can't open that thing. The website kind of went to shit. Anyway. Don Felder or Joe Walsh? Oh, definitely Joe Walsh, and 100 times over. Don Felder is part of the Eagles. Obviously, came up with some great music and the solo for Hotel California. Fingers Felder does an excellent job there. But, Joe Walsh has a solo career. He has, what's it called? The James Gang. So he has more to him than Felder. Felder has nothing outside of the Eagles. It's who he is. That's all he's got, pretty much. Whereas, Joe Walsh can actually do a concert with his music, and his personal and James Gang. And that like somebody would want to go see that because they like a lot of that music. So I don't think it's even close to a comparison. Now, if you want to compare the guitarists, that's different. But if we're comparing the music and the accomplishments, it's not even close, dude. Joe Walsh by miles and miles and miles and miles. Yeah. Yep. Is there anything else in the market going well, by the way? Since GDP went down and everything, got a bad report today. Bad report. Not good, ladies and gentlemen. Market's down 140. Nope, market's down 212 points now. S&P's down 41. And the NASDAQ's down about a half a point. But you meant guitarist. Yeah, now we've got a competition there. I might go Felder first. Maybe. Slightly. But I can make an argument there for both. That one's a really tight one. That's a good comparison. We're just talking guitarists. We're talking musicians. It's not a race at all. It's very hard to win a Super Bowl. You have to get lucky. Just ask Buffalo, and they have a good coach. Yeah. They also have a thing called the Kansas City Chiefs in the way too. And one of the things that Buffalo has also failed in the last few years, at times they wouldn't have a running game. The running game was the quarterback. And they kind of fixed that now. They're better now at that. And then their wide receivers. They didn't really have a great wide receiving core last year, and yet they still were able to average, like 30 points in their last 8 games or something like that. It was crazy. So their offense was very, very productive, even though they didn't really have a great wide receiving core. And their defense actually ended up being better than people expected, because some people thought that they would struggle a little bit more on defense. It's an impressive team overall compared to what we have here, no doubt. But it's not perfect. And because of that, you need to be perfect in order to beat teams like Kansas City, who was flawed this year, and that's why they lost, or a team like Philadelphia. When you're that dominant on the O and defensive lines and you can run the ball and control the clock, it is a huge advantage because Jalen Hurts is not really a good quarterback. He's a decent quarterback. He's, decent passer, not even a good passer. And all you need him to do is make a couple plays because the rest of your team is so dominant. So dominant. You know what I mean? Whereas Josh Allen has to do a lot more in order to win than Jalen Hurts. A lot more because the Eagles' defense is better. The Eagles' offensive line is better. The Eagles' running game is better overall. All these things just kind of help your quarterback. But, in general, you're right. I mean, they're good, but they've had some hurdles in their way too. I can't completely pick them apart because I'm a Dolphins fan. That's what I can pick apart, how terrible our team is and how they don't get it done. So don't forget, folks, we are trying to go to Spain this year. It's the one game we want to cover this year. And we are going to not only do the show all week long there at a bar in Spain, a Dolphins bar in Spain, but do our pre and post game show from that Dolphins bar in Spain. And it'll be our first ever bar on the road out of the country. We've never done a show at a Dolphins bar outside of the United States. We've done it in several cities here in the U.S., Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Seattle, Brooklyn, or Manhattan, that is, Buffalo, Flagler Beach. I mean, these are all places that have Dolphins bars, and we've done it there. You know what I mean? But this will be the first time that we go to a Dolphins bar out of the country, which they exist, which is amazing. Our team doesn't do anything. They win nothing. And yet it's the only team in town. I want to say it's probably one of the few NFL teams that also has their own bars for their fan bases in not only around the country, but also in parts of the world. It's crazy. There aren't a lot of teams that have that. And the Dolphin fan, because I always love how sometimes people pick on our fan base. We have an amazing fan base. It's just that they suffer a lot. That's all. They suffer a lot. But what are you going to do? So please, whatever donation you can make, use the QR code there. We'd appreciate it immensely. All right. We thank the great Sean Stanley. Alan, of course, the general manager here at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Lene, Eric, thank you all for helping us out here and making it happen. We'll be back here next month, and we'll get it done. We appreciate it as always. We shall see you all tomorrow. We are at Hialeah Park. We're at the casino tomorrow afternoon, starting at 3 o'clock. Appreciate all of you out there. See you tomorrow, same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show.